Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday, y'all. What is going on? What is good? What is real? We are here, part two. Oh, we got a window open. We're listening to me on two platforms here. Oops. Here I am. Okay, so after last Sunday's live stream, a bunch of more bills became a thing. And some folks had some more questions for me, so I figured I'd answer them pretty quickly. I know y'all probably have some parties to go to, so we're just going to be real quick today. For anyone who doesn't know, my name is Aviva. I started the Georgia Hemp Economic Revival Organization over 10 years ago to educate people about the amazing benefits of cannabis. I myself was completely blind to that until I was educated myself. So I know there's a lot of people that are still not educated because it's just not taught in school. It's not even taught anywhere else. The media makes it look bad, all that stuff. People are in jail for a sacred plant. This needs to stop now. So we need to stop our legislators any way we can from trying to criminalize medicine, herbal medicine, healing things, so we can make this world a little more chill and relaxed and beautiful and awesome and supportive for all of us. So quick recap from the last video that we did is we spoke about the basic Georgia session, how it's just 40 days starting mid-January, ending end of March, early April, just in time for Passover, but that's another thing. And yeah, just basically what it's like going down to the Capitol, which we're going to talk about more today. And last time we talked about SB 33, which is a bill that we don't like because SB 494 was bad enough and they're just trying to add more restrictions and be sneaky because they were sneaky last time. And I don't even know what the processing fee ended up being. I didn't even care because I was, when they push us to the edge, we're just like, we don't care anymore. Like, just stop, just free the whole plant, right? So can someone please send me a question so I can focus this live stream and answer what you need me to answer based on what you might not have understood last time, or maybe more questions came up. And while you think of your question, I will go see if our sponsor wants to make an announcement. Scribbles, where are you? Hi, my name is Scribbles, and I am the sponsor of this live stream. I worked very hard on an album called Scribbles Soup. It's right here, and y'all should stream it for yourself, for your kids, for your inner kids inside your heart, and you should totally stream it because every stream I make 0.008 cents, and I'm donating it to the USA Hemp Revival. Yay! Thanks, Scribbles. Wow, I am so lucky to have you on my side, let me tell you. I'm glad you haven't gone through that teenage rebellious stage yet. And he loves broccoli. It's just such an amazing thing. All right, so let me see if I have any questions over here. What does the committee do after the bill is assigned? Good question. What does the committee do after the bill is assigned to them? So before we answer that question, do you all remember how to find SB 33 or a bill in general? Because oh, someone's asking me to post the donation link. Okay, I can do that. 1 second. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's so funny because the bill that we are about to look at is HB 265. And I have exactly $265 raised out of our yearly goal of just a few $1,000s to cover some of our expenses over here. So if someone makes a donation today, we won't be able to remember our bill based on the donation amount. That's okay. So here we go. I will post that link for you right now. And I appreciate donations so much. I really would have more time to do videos and all that stuff if I had proper equipment and all that stuff. All right. I appreciate you so, so much. Boo ba doo ba doo boo 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 doo boo boo doo boo. Ba da ba 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 ba. Ba da ba ba da bum. All right. We are gotta go here. It's just me today. I don't have any help, so I can't so I have to do all the backstage stuff too. So it's just taking a minute. It's so lonely. Ah! All right, so I'm going to show you this bill right here. Okay. So this is HB 265. It's pretty similar to SB 33, which is in the Senate. That is often what happens, that a bill that hasn't passed the Senate yet is introduced in the House. That way, it's kind of like the game, right? If they pass it in one of the chambers, there's more of a chance that they'll pass it all together, or they can slip the other language in it if it doesn't pass. I know it doesn't seem fair, right? But that's how it is. Then, they could slip it in there if it passes through one chamber and not the other, and then they try to get it on the floor again for another vote. It's all about perseverance, I suppose. So, this, as you can see, can you see where it has been assigned now? It's not in regulated industries in the House. It is bum 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 agriculture and consumer affairs. So, what does that mean? That means that Robert Dickey is the chairman of, look how many people. Look how many people are in this committee. Is that not insane? I saw that, it wasn't like this when I first started lobbying. Lobbying, you can't really call it lobbying. I'm not a professional lobber. Okay, so when I first started to track these bills, literally there was only 10 people, I think, in the committee. Now, oh my God. There's 35 people. This is insane. So we're going to have to write to all of these people, try to meet with all of them and say, y'all, what is up? What is up with HB 265? Okay, so back to the question, what happens when it's in committee? Well, the chairman will tell you if it will be heard. And if it is heard, then basically, I guess one of three things will happen. One, they will say, let's just discuss this, let's deliberate over it, let's add an amendment, let's rework it, and let's bring it back another day for the vote. That's one scenario. Also, what happens when they hear the bill is that they usually allow for public comment. And so any day they're discussing a bill or voting on a bill, The general public is welcome to come and give a testimony. Now, when you come and give a testimony, it is very important that you get there early because you have to sign up to speak. Now, you might want to get there early to talk to people too, but you basically are going to have a sheet of paper to sign up with at the very front of the meeting. You can also ask, where is the sign-up sheet? There have been meetings that I've gone to where there wasn't a sign-up sheet, so I had to ask a few times, where's the sign-up sheet? Can I talk? You have to be proactive. So the first thing is that they might just discuss it. They might just deliberate. The second thing is they vote and it passes. And the third thing is that they vote and it doesn't pass. So what happens if it passes when they vote? Then it goes to the floor of either the House or the Senate, wherever it was heard. And in order to get a vote on the floor, it has to go through another committee. If it doesn't pass, then it's not going to go on the Senate floor, at least not as SB 33 or HB 265. It will go as, it might try to sneak into other bills. So that's what we learned last session, is that just because something dies in committee, the battle is not over. They will try to sneak it in to other bills, whether it's the, HB 265 slipping into SB 33, or we don't know. Like, it's hard to really play the game not knowing who is on your team and not knowing if they even know if they're on your team. A lot of people don't even know that they don't know. They don't even know that something's bad or something's good. They're overwhelmed. They're sleep deprived. They're eating too much sugar, blah, blah, blah. Not that they're not doing some great things. It just seems like a fail system instead of a win-win system when it comes to humanity and really being aware of what is going on. It's like getting out of this maze is not easy. So that is that question. Just to add a little bit to that question, we also have a name for something that flip-flops its bill entirely. So I learned this one year when I showed up to testify for the hemp bill. And all of a sudden, I show up to the committee and the whatever bill number it was no longer had any language about hemp. It was completely gutted, and it was the medical cannabis bill. So I spoke about the medical cannabis bill because I was there, but all of a sudden it wasn't a hemp bill anymore. So that's called a rider bill. So some people say you can look at like the cornbread, make cornbread, Georgia's official cornbread, like that all of a sudden might be gutted last minute and become a hemp. I don't really know how that happens, but somehow it does. So that's called a rider bill. Okay, so what's our next question? Our next question is, how powerful is one or even two senators' yes or no votes? It is majority. So once it's in committee, once it's voted, it has to be the majority. So like these 35 people, it'll need like 20 votes or something. But that's a good question, because if it's on the Senate floor, it doesn't only have to win, it has to get the majority of votes from the members. So this was interesting. 2 years ago, the cannabis bill didn't pass. And maybe it should have. I don't know. It would have dissolved the Medical Cannabis Commission because they added that bill. They added banning 8 to that bill last minute. So it was like totally a catch-22 where maybe we should have just wanted it to pass. Maybe it would have been better. Who knows? But what happened is it only got like 51 votes to 50. And even though the majority won, it wasn't enough of the majority of the Senate. Like, you needed 52. Like, you had to like really have the consensus. Sorry, I'm not explaining that because I really don't understand it, but I know it was something like that, and someone else can explain it, I'm sure, a little bit better. I can pull that up for our next live stream if you want. How powerful is someone's yes or no vote? I mean, they're a number, they add up to the majority. I do think the chairman has some power. I do think the sponsor has some power. We don't know who is coercing who and might have some powers. I know that in Hempdemic, the movie that you all should watch, the chairman at the time was pressuring Senator Summers to change his vote, which I don't think is legal. Like that, he's like, "Are you sure you want to vote yes?" That's completely altering with voting, isn't it? So there's that. You want to get the person that hopefully you have the most sway with is your personal legislator. So if you are their constituent, if you voted for them, if you're in their district, they might care a little bit more about you because you keep them employed more so. Does that answer that question? If not, please write something in the comments. What to do once down at the Capitol. So once you're there, you need to find where you're going early, hopefully, so you're not late. You want to find there are two different buildings. There's Capitol and Coverdale. Coverdale is across the way. You have to go through security for both of them. You find the people that you want to meet with. You make a list of people you want to meet with. You try to find them in their offices. You talk to their assistants. You try to schedule a meeting whenever you can schedule it. I find it's way more possible to schedule a meeting in person than trying to call or email. So that's a great thing to do when you're down there, is schedule a meeting. And also, if you can't find them in the office, you're always invited to call them to the ropes. Now, what does that mean, calling them to the ropes? Calling them to the ropes means you go down to the third floor where the session is happening, where the floor session is happening, and you talk to one of I think we talked about this last time, like there's interns there that write down your name and what you want, and they'll ask the legislator if they'll come out and speak to you at the ropes. And you stand at these ropes and you talk to them. I think those are all the questions. So I'm going to get going, but I will play a little commercial for you and wait for another question if we have one. So here we go. Gasoline, pretty and cosmic and smart. Gasoline, giving nature a new start. Gasoline, opening up all our hearts. Gasoline, gentle and kind, not so harsh. Gasoline, gasoline, I sing this song with my tambourine. Gasoline, gasoline, I sing this song jumping high on my trampoline. Gasoline, what the whole world can afford. Gasoline, can no longer be ignored. Gasoline, cleans the air as it's made. Gasoline, makes water clean so we can wait. Every crop helps us stop polluting our homes and where we shop, absorbing tough CO2. Gasoline, oh how I love you. Clap, clap, snap, snap. Clap, clap, snap, snap. For the win. Clap, clap, snap, snap. Gasoline. Clap, clap, snap, snap. Kind of mean. Pour it in. For the win. Gasoline. It's kind of mean. Gasoline. Gasoline. Gasoline.
want gasoline? Gasoline, gasoline. We all got that gasoline. Too clean. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. So here I am. Did anyone come up with any questions? Oh, all right. I'm going to play one more commercial and then we'll see if we have any more questions.
Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? You got a nice life. You got a nice wife. You're working hard for your money. You got to save to survive, but the gas prices never cease to rise. Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? But can you run a car on cannabis? Henry Ford, he invented the design. How nice it would be to not smell like gasoline every time I'd take my car for a ride. Do, 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 do. Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? And my wife, she would agree. Use cannabis for paper and not a tree. Use cannabis for clothing instead of cotton. It even grows wild without the pesticides that give us cancer. Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Ufona, akuya kule cannabis. Ufona, akuya kule cannabis. Ufona, akuya kule cannabis. Some people say that oil pollutes and drilling into the ground is killing our roots. All the farmers in Iraq could be taken on food, but instead they're drilling for oil. It's the government's rule, but we could easily be a hero just to make hemp production legal. Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Washington knew it. George Washington even grew it. Do, 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 do.
All right. You guys want a cannabis car? I do. I am so ready for a cannabis car.